listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. With your hosts, Anthony R. Destiny, Joe Ferrani, and Jerry Kenna. Interviewing entrepreneurs, business operators, and investors. This episode of Between Two Bridges is sponsored by Paymark Payroll. Payday is the most important day to your most important people, and payday is made easy at www.payyourpeople.com.
Alrighty, we're here with another episode of Between Two Bridges. I'm your co-host, Anthony R. Destiny.
Joseph Ferranti.
And Jerry Kenna.
And our business owner of the evening, Mr.
Mitch Fowkes, co-owner and founder of Steel City Billboards.
Founder.
Boom.
Steel City Billboards.
Love it. So, I guess we'll start with, where are your billboards? Let's get that out of the way.
We cover Allegheny County, north, south, east, and west. And recently our latest one is in Washington County on I-79 in Cannonsburg.
Nice. That's the boring part.
Yeah. Well, I know we all grew up together, but
Yeah.
could you fill in our listeners where you're from, what you did, what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of funny. You guys probably don't know this, but I'm actually originally from Oakmont.
Oh,
And
I thought you were a Verona boy. That changes this whole interview.
that does, right? But no, I actually lived in Oakmont for about 6 months, and we lived behind the Fowkes up on
I'm
Fifth
sorry to
Street.
hear that.
The 6th Street house.
Yeah. So, we lived there for probably about like 6 months of my life, and then my parents wanted to find something bigger, so we moved to Verona. And
What street?
originally, what's that?
What street?
What street?
Yeah.
It's
Upper
Riverview.
Verona.
Riverview Road.
Okay.
Yeah,
Off of Brunot, right?
that's right. Yeah. Graduate of Riverview High School, 2005.
You were a freshman when we graduated, right?
He was ninth grade.
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Yeah.
our center, right? Somehow you got
Nose
that,
tackle?
got that
Yeah.
nose tackle job. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
What'd you go to school for? Did you go to
Yeah.
college? What'd you do after you graduated? Drink
Yeah.
a bunch, go to Cuba. What'd you do?
Right after high school, I went to college over in Ohio. It was the University of Akron.
Okay.
Graduated in 2010.
So you're a zip.
I'm a zip, yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
How'd you know about the zip?
I know about the zips.
Okay.
They upset Penn State.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
it's actually 300 miles from where we sit. It's not like it's in the middle of nowhere. The rubber capital of the world right there in Akron.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, more tires, I guess, were made in Akron than anywhere in the world. Yeah, if you go into Akron, you could see the plants. Goodyear's on one side, Firestone's on the other. Is that,
Yeah, on one side, and the other one's on the other side.
So, fun fact of the day.
But yeah, I went to, like I said, the University of Akron. I majored in fire science technology. And
Fire science. What is that?
it's technology, bro. And I got my bachelor's in emergency management.
Okay.
Yeah, volunteer fireman growing up, right?
Yeah,
Junior firefighter.
For 12 years.
Yeah.
And I was also EMT for about 8.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember you doing you did a lot of transportation and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was like the glorified taxi service.
Oh,
But we did some emergencies.
paid for by your health providers.
Mm-hmm. No, but that was a great time of my life, and kind of helped me, get to where I'm at now.
Yeah, I think any job that you do will teach you what you need to know. Because if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, you're learning everywhere you go in life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a unique, being in that field. Not everybody. It's not like a 9 to 5 that you can just apply for. You went to school for it. You had a background in it.
Right.
You had a love for it.
I did.
So, what made you take the leap from being the ambulance man that you were and leaving that uniform behind and getting into your founding of Steel City Billboards?
Yeah, I like this question. Takes me back to when we first started. It was 2010, shortly graduated. And I wanted to help out my dad and brother. They both had a business together. And I wanted to help them advertise in a different way. So I called this company out in Greensburg. I'm like, hey, how much is your sign on Route 30 there? He goes, it's $1,500. And I'm like, is that for the year? And he goes, no, it's for the month.
Oh.
And I was just like, what? I was like, you got anything cheaper than that? And he goes, no, that's it. I hung up the phone. I'm like, Dad, we got to get in the billboard business, man. It's like, this guy's charging $1,500
a month.
Why can't we charge like $700 or something? Undercut him. And just because we could have less overhead, it's just us. And how hard could it be, right?
It's funny because I think you were half that number when we talked years ago about doing a billboard, and I was like, holy fuck. Can't afford that.
Yeah,
I saw the fucking budget.
Still haven't raised our rates.
Oh, really?
Practically.
Yeah, I mean,
so you're just driving past, and like, how did this company get on your radar?
I think I was actually driving the ambulance that day, and I called him when I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I just had the idea to, kind of help him out, and then found out, I'm like, you know what, this is like, I didn't go for marketing. I had not a clue what any of this was,
Just seemed like an opportunity.
Yeah. So,
you guys have a pretty entrepreneurial background. I mean, just your sister has her own business, right? Your brother has his own business. Your dad started businesses.
Yeah. My sister has an apparel company. My brother has, it's called Pittsburgh Public Safety Supply down on.
Yeah, they do the embroidery, right?
Yeah. My sister does all that too, and it's awesome. She does a lot of different embroidery and stitch work. I mean, stuff like the mugs and stuff. She can handle all that. Hats, t-shirts, everything.
She's the official apparel provider of Doro Cleaners.
Is she?
Oh yeah. She
Nice.
does all Pat's shirts.
Mm.
I don't get shirts that much anymore, but Pat does. He's out in the field all the time. So
Shout out, Bryony.
shout out Bryony.
Always a happy guy. I love it.
Very pleasant.
No comment.
Yeah.
But so I mean, obviously we all went this. We actually graduated with Leah, all three of
we
us, right?
graduated.
So,
Yeah.
I remember that.
but you were there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you had a brother.
He's like 10 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Matt, right?
Yeah.
So like he does the patches, right, for like Pittsburgh, the fire departments. and
He
stuff?
holds the contract for the city of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County. Yeah.
So you're driving to the ambulance, you make this call, the guy hits you with a number, you get the idea to undercut him.
Yeah.
Where do we go from there?
Yeah. So, I mean, the idea was not necessarily to undercut them, but to provide a more affordable service to small businesses. That was, my main objective. And also to create something that maybe, hey, if I spend some money and if it fails, so be it. But I at least wanted to give it a try, no risk, no reward. So you kind of got to go after it, right?
Yeah, that sums it up pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, have a good night. Good episode.
Yeah.
No risk, no reward. We've been talking about it for 18 episodes now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, I love the I think I've only listened to like two though. And then the one yesterday. But I'm getting there.
All
One
right.
yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. Like
yesterday's was good.
Was it that was the recap, right?
Yeah, it's a recap.
Yeah.
It was we launched the February recap yesterday.
yeah, we call them bridge episodes.
Yeah. I'm still like getting it. It's like,
Yeah.
You'll learn stuff.
You'll
Dude,
learn.
I credit this to being a better business owner.
mhm.
Just listening to the stories that come out of that
Yep.
chair.
Right. But getting back to your point, like, after we found out the price, I kind of approached my dad. I was like, Dad, this is a really interesting business to be a part of. I think it's more than just a sign on the side of the road. There's a lot of history. It's the oldest form of advertising.
Oh,
It's effective, and I really kind of want to research this. So it took about 8 months or so, and kind of really dived in and looked while, working on the ambulance. I think at the time I was I was working I did the 4 a.m. to noon shift. So I'm waking up every day at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. And
that'll make you think.
I'm on, yeah, I'm on the go, out the door on the ambulance at 4 a.m. and, just spending that time, researching, obviously not with patients and whatnot, but
you are doing medical research.
No, but there's some days that, you get home at 11:30 in the morning. It's a slow day,
Yeah.
But sometimes, you're working 16 hours a day and you just get worn out. But, those days that you got off early, you take advantage of them. And those were the days that literally I spent, really trying to find the ins and out of the billboard industry. Man, like I said, it really intrigued me. So my dad at the time was, approached me. He's like, wow, you really find that this is something that you really want to do? Like, yeah. He goes, all right, well, you know what? If you want to do that, we could go ahead and form a company and I'll do all the book work behind the scenes and you'll be the face of the company. I'm like, okay.
Finally.
Yeah. So we each had about $2,500, I think. And we just went in half and formed, a business, got our EIN number, went to the bank, deposited everything, and just kind of started ripping into, looking for locations and started looking at zoning regulations. And then we found our first spot down on 51 in Baldwin. And it was the day that I was driving, just coming down the hill, coming from Jefferson Hospital. Okay. And I was like, right at the ice cream shop. You guys know the Sugar and Spice?
Yep.
Down in Baldwin. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it was right there. And I'm like, man, that'd be a nice spot for a billboard. So I got home later that day and I went online to look at Baldwin's zoning ordinance. I'm like, man, I think we can put one here. I don't really know, but let's just get an engineer to draw up a design for the structure and see what happens. And I didn't know it at the time, but it was what they call like a permitted use. So you don't have to go in front of like council or the planning commission or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool. Like the zoning officer just approved it. So as long as you meet, the basic requirements of the zoning code, then you can go ahead and he can give you the approval. So like, I think if I would have known that you'd like go to like planning code or, planning commission or council, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. So,
they told you no, you'd have been like, thanks. Yeah. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Have a nice day.
Good talk. Thanks.
Yeah. So we got the, filed for the application. And then I think it was like literally 2 weeks later, we got the approval and my dad and I were just like, what?
You're in the thick of it now.
We all right, let's do it. We got to do it, So we literally were like, well, we got these blueprints and thank God my dad knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to like building stuff. Like me,
he drew them up or
no. Okay. We ended up getting an actual engineering design, but he could read the blueprints. I mean, something that I'm like looking, I'm like, okay, well I know there's like, 2x4 there, but how do you do this?
He's like, how soon until we can sell a sign?
He's like, well, yeah, that's what I was focused on, But, he could really read plans and he's like talking all these different terms that I didn't know at the time, I didn't build stuff when I was like in elementary school or high school or anything like that. So he's like, yeah, we'll just like countersink these. And I'm like, what is that?
Mr. Fowkes must have been a patient man through this process.
God bless him, man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? I mean, that's now being that, we've worked together for, I guess, going on like 13 years now. It's like, man, we have learned so much, from him, my mom and everything. But,
Did you build that first billboard?
That's where I was getting.
By hand? Like you two?
Yeah.
Do you think that the zoning officer would have approved it if he'd have known you two knuckleheads were going to be building the first billboard on the side of 51?
Okay. Well, we
just assumed you had a professional.
We put my buddy at the time. We put him
As the contractor?
As the contractor. Honorado Construction.
Oh, good convenient name there.
Yeah.
Is it still standing?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, it's still
All
standing.
right.
Honorado. That's like, you should just make a contracting name after a politician. Get a lot more zoning cleared.
There you go.
Honorado.
Yeah.
Bill Honorado, right?
Yeah.
We know he shot all those geese.
Joe.
I mean,
Yeah, but no, we built the first one. Like I said, we got all the plans and everything. We got all the
couple
lumber.
weeks, month. How long is it?
I think it took about a couple weeks because we had to dig the holes, and it was on this hillside.
All right.
And we're getting into the hillside, and it's like, man, we're coming into like rock, And it's like at first we got the auger, and we're going down. We had to have 4 different pillars,
Yeah.
and I think we had to go down at least like 6 feet. So we're using the auger, and I think we maybe reached like 4 feet on like one, maybe 2.5 on the other. And so we're like, well, we're going to take this auger back, and it's useless. So we had to go get a jackhammer. And we didn't have we had no like electric tools at the time. We're using like this extension cord, plugging it into the ice cream place, like jackhammer in the hillside.
Wait, so your first billboard is on their property, right?
Yeah, the ice cream
Spice.
shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny story. We were tailgating a Steeler game, and we brought a whole cooler to a tailgate, and we didn't want to lose the cooler because it was a nice cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hanging out with these people, and the lady was like, "Hey, we'll take it with us. You can pick it up at my mom's shop. It'll be there Monday." And we were like, "Where's your mom's shop?" She was like, "Sugar and Spice. Everybody knows it."
Yeah.
So they did. They took
That's
it there,
hilarious.
and we picked it up there.
Oh my God.
So shout out to Sugar and Spice. Good people.
They are good people, and thank you for
Putting up
allowing
with
us to put a billboard on your property. We, like I said, we were building that and exhausted all of our options, so we had to then rent a jackhammer. So it's like my dad has a picture of me like on the top of the hole with the jackhammer like going, and we're going to town for I don't know hours, and it's like I don't think we're making much progress here. So I call my buddy Andrew, and I'm like, "Hey man, like this rock, it's not going anywhere." He goes, "Well, you know what? We do this all the time." He goes, "We'll just call them, let them know that we've gotten so far. We'll put rebar in there, get your sonotubes, and we'll pour it. And there's solid rock. They'll come out, look at it, and as long as you really made a good attempt to it, that concrete will just adhere to the solid ground below." We're like, "All right, cool." So
Lamar's guys are driving by. They're like, "Idiots! You don't think we would have put a billboard there if we had known it was solid rock? We core drilled that 2 years ago."
Yeah, right.
So how does that process? Take us through that process. So you see an ideal spot for a billboard.
Mm-hmm.
How do you start that? Everybody probably thinks they have a spot they can put a billboard. Listen into this.
Oh, they do. I've gotten a lot of calls for that, but I don't know. I don't want to give out,
Trade
too many of my
Trade
secrets,
secrets.
guys.
No. Are the
It's all good.
regulations different per township, I suppose?
So
Yeah, they are.
let's
They are.
re-question this. If you have property out there and you think you can put a billboard on it,
Just contact me.
who do you
Just
contact? How do you contact?
Contact me, honestly. Yeah, so what we do now, I'm heavily involved in all the site development. I mean, I have been since day one, and that's, learned a lot from that. But if we're, looking for a new location, I mean, ultimately it comes down to, each township, borough, municipality, they're all different with all their zoning and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it for one, it's difficult to navigate that process, and it's beyond time consuming. I mean, this past week, I'm looking at all these different right-of-way plans from PennDOT and old maps, historic maps, trying to pull data and line things up. And now it's we work with this awesome engineering firm that really can help us. But it's challenging to, find the new locations because there's so many that have already been taken. So you find one now, it's a good location, and it's a hard location to get.
Yeah, we had a couple places here locally where there were some lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was one in Tarentum. There's a billboard on Tarentum Bridge Road,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That ended up, there was a lawsuit and the billboard company won. That's
I think
not
that
yours.
was like 4 years.
Yeah, that wasn't yours.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And then there's another one that's pending that it looks like they're going to win. That's in like Creighton.
Mhm.
That's going to be on 28.
What what draws the lawsuit?
People don't want it. Like the one in Creighton, the lawsuit is that they're literally putting the base of it in a vacant lot next door to somebody's backyard. So like,
I thought that was East Deer.
yeah,
Yeah.
East Ear.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's like, they're basically putting the bottom of the
Have you
billboard in a backyard.
have you driven through Penn Hills in the last like 8 years? They can just put a utility pole
I
straight
know.
up on the fucking main drag.
Right.
You know.
So, but I mean, the billboard company won in both situations. But yeah, and I don't really understand the one on Trenton Bridge Road. I mean, it's nothing but commercial and industrial there. Like, get over it.
Yeah,
But
I
I
guess
don't think I'd want it next to my backyard though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's appropriate places for them, and then there's obviously non-appropriate places.
I remember when I was in college, there was a billboard between, if you were coming back from Irwin, between Irwin and Monroeville, that there was like a side street that runs perpendicular or parallel to the turnpike, and there's a house, and the people let a company come in and put it in their backyard so that it's facing the turnpike, and somebody bought the billboard for an adult bookstore, and it literally
Oh,
just
my
was a yellow sign that said adult. And I'm like, those people in that house are probably like, God damn it! Like, that is not what we signed up for.
Go look at
was
it
up there
now.
for so long.
Go look at it now. It probably says Jesus wash his feet.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny, but
So you said earlier that billboards are the oldest form of advertising. So I guess it would be like the old barns, the old malpouch signs.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like what you were referring to?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
So you go to a farmer and say, "Hey, give you a mule."
Well, I think those like tobacco, like mail pouch signs that you see, I think, yeah, those were the advertisements. But didn't they actually like grow tobacco and
At those
do
farms?
stuff in the barns and
I
on
have
those
no idea.
farms?
I don't know.
To be determined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's find that guy
Write that down.
Let's get that guy in here.
We need a research guy.
Or girl.
Or girl.
I guess you don't see a lot of girls dipping.
Yeah, I'm bad at pronouns. I'm pretty bad at that.
There's a lot.
nowadays.
We'll steer away.
Yeah, I
He,
said. Well, you know,
We just stick with the main two.
yeah.
The
What got
only
me
two.
today is I said to somebody, "Thanks, man."
And it was a woman.
No, it wasn't a woman. I don't drink until at least 8 o'clock. What time is it? 7 o'clock. But
30.
it was just like an innocent comment. And when I said it, I thought, you know, in this day and age, you could like offend somebody,
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
you know, with the thanks, man. And I'm like, how fucked are we? Next topic.
So, bro, if I want to, let's say I have a side yard and I buy it, could I put a billboard on it?
Well, it depends on what, where. What's the ordinance say?
Maybe it's plum.
Oh, you're
Does the
asking for
side
yourself.
yard, does the side yard face a major highway or
No.
a major road?
It faces a road.
Is it residential?
Is it your road?
It's just my road.
let's do a
Basically just
research.
gonna
How many
advertise to
cars?
your neighbors.
How many cars a day?
1,000.
Oh, really? That many?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Put a couple yard signs up.
No,
No.
not allowed.
Oh,
It's just not worth it for 1,000 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a billboard on Route 8.
Right.
How many cars do Route 8 see a day?
It's about 31,000.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
I think at some point I
Wow.
heard a number like our store on McKnight sees like 50-some thousand cars a day.
That sounds right.
It's like the third like most traveled non-interstate road in the state.
Really?
I pay a nickel for every one of those cars. You pay for all that
Well,
exposure.
based
the amount
on
of people on the
traffic,
road.
right?
Yeah, the amount of people on the road nowadays. I mean, it's obviously been growing over the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
I think it's like 70% of people, travel to and from work like every day. You know, so at some point they're going to see your message outside. Whether it's on a billboard or bus shelter or bus itself. Subway station. there's people out, and especially after COVID, I mean, we're kind of going back to, all those numbers and trends that existed then that, they're back now.
So how many billboards did you have to have before you could stop building them on the side of the road? Do you still build them?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like the one that we just put up one back in August. October.
The giant ones?
Yeah.
You built the one on Route 8?
No. What?
You built the one? You built that billboard on Route 8?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I was back to that question.
I thought you meant, do I still construct them? Like, hey, am I still actively putting them up, or actually physically building them?
No,
That's
I meant you guys.
No.
With your jackhammer.
Yeah, that's why the shock in his eyes. No. You're building serious structures, bro. You're in the wrong business.
Let's go.
He's on renting.
So you build the first one.
Yeah,
let's go. Jackhammers. Now he owns a crane.
Who was the first advertisement?
It was actually Dean Honda.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, down further on Honda. 51.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Sherman, great guy, great family.
Yeah.
They advertised with us probably for about like 3-4 years, I want to say. Probably about 4 or 5 years, actually.
Okay.
And they were our first client. And it was funny. Like, my dad and I were just talking about this the other day. When we went in, he wanted to do a 2-year contract with us. And we were like, what? 2 years on our first billboard?
Yeah.
We're like, wow, this is working. This is cool.
Yeah.
So we literally go into the office, man. I was like,
Sweat.
This is like
make or break kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is nerve wracking.
Did you hit him with a number, or like how'd that?
No,
come
well, yeah, like originally.
Do you have that number in your head, or?
Yeah, it was like $425, like
to turn green
per month. Yeah. So he wanted to do 2 years. So we do our billing cycle. 13 4-week period, so 52 weeks. So, 425 times 13, 26. So that gave you like your 2-year contract. So like we go in, we have like our paper and everything, and they call us up to the second floor. And I remember it was Steve, it was his brother, and then like 2 of his sons. And then
we're just
like sitting. It's like literally a round table. We're like in here.
Shark
and
Tank.
he goes, all right, well, tell me what I'm buying. It's like, okay, well, we got a sign right down the road that we feel was perfect for your business. Like,
You're what, 21 at this point?
Oh, man.
Pretty young, right?
Yeah, I was. So, 2010, I mean, right around maybe 23, 4.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're right out of college, so about 23. I was like a 5-year student in Akron. So
that's something we've never really talked about on this show is the first sale.
Right.
So
that's great.
Keep walking us through it. Yeah,
it was nerve-wracking. But yeah, we're sitting there, and he's basically asking, what am I buying? And I was like, wow, why'd you call us in here if like you're wanting to ask that? But I'm like, I get it. I'm like, not, that's not a bad question, but I kind of, that thought ran through.
I thought we were past this part.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Absolutely.
Did you buy a car that day? Are they that damn good?
No, but several years later, my mom and dad, they are solid customers of them because without them, I mean, I don't know, who else would we have gotten? Maybe somebody else, but they were pretty loyal and were excited to work with a family business because they've been dealing with a larger corporation at the time. That they told us that they did a few different signs. Well, I think it was the board right above the Liberty Tunnel going into town, and they were paying an outrageous amount of money.
Yeah.
And Lamar wanted to. Oh, can I say names?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So
they'll sue us.
Fuck
not
them.
you.
Yeah, you're clear, dude.
Fuck them.
Yeah. So
hey, Lamar, we're coming for you.
Yeah. So Lamar ended up, wanting to increase the rates there, and he goes, "Well, come on, I'm already paying X amount of money." He goes, "Well, you know what? You're just not a big fish." It's like the amount of money that they were paying. My shoes just fell off.
Yeah.
So
Lamar's nationwide.
Yeah, they're originally from Louisiana.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all over the country.
Shout out Tigers.
Yeah, when you took over the billboard industry, I remember like I never looked at the tags underneath the billboards ever until your tag. And I was like, oh man, good for him, and then I started seeing them. But we used to years and years and years ago when I was just a schlepper working construction, we would build bus stations. And the guy that owned that company, man, he was a smooth talker and like he found a niche where like he would go to the Port Authority here in Pittsburgh and agree like, hey, at no cost to you, we'll renovate this space for you.
Right.
but he would have billboard space on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what a genius. Like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but so we're sitting at the table and we go through and kind of answer his question. And I remember my dad, he had the paper in front of him and the pen, and Steve's like, all right, well, where do I sign? And my dad grabs the pen, pushes the paper in front, and his hands are literally shaking like this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, Dad, I'm pretty nervous. He was so nervous.
If you ask him, he's just going to say, fuck, I'm in business with my son.
Right.
Like, we're now in business.
Yeah.
Together.
So we just laugh about that.
That's so cool, man.
Good,
awesome.
good memories, back in, I guess, I was 20.
Is Dean Honda still around?
Yeah, they're still around.
Are they still a customer?
Actively, no.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a kickback to the ice cream place, or like since it's on their property, do they have a lease or?
Yeah, great question. So with every lease that we have, we do offer a compensation.
Nice.
We privately work different deals with certain landowners depending on what type of revenue that we feel that we could generate from that location. So the better the location, the higher percentage or base rent that we'll give.
Okay.
So the first one you had designed by an architect or an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
You guys built it. These ones now are steel, humongous structures.
Right.
Is there a billboard company that you just go buy a kit and they ship it out, or they build it for you, or do you have? I guess is there companies out there that are selling these kits?
Right. So not necessarily kits. They're fabricated and constructed based on engineering specs and the size that you're looking for. So you're like, hey, over in Shaler, for instance, okay, I got a 10 by 24 over there. I got to be, at 40 feet overall height. I want to have a center mount with a 15-foot spread. So like the faces are 15 feet apart to give you that better angle for visibility. And whatnot. So then, you get the design. We work with a company from Tennessee that does all the steel. They'll look at all those, the prints and everything. They'll fabricate it. They ship it up. And then we have a company, ScienceStat, that we've been working with that, have done all of our steel structures. So, they'll erect it and, dig the foundation, do everything, from start to finish.
Huh. It's like we see them every day. You just never know like what goes into them. There's a lot of planning.
And like you said, you never really paid attention to it. But now, I mean, there's been a lot of times I've been driving in a car with Amber or whatever. I'm like, oh, look, Steel City Billboards. You notice it now.
Come on.
Yeah, that's always cool to see your name out there. It's like each one has its obstacles and hardships and your blood, sweat, and tears,
So year one in business, how many did you end up with? Do you remember? Were you in the money? Were you green the first year? Or did you sink more money into this? How'd it go?
Yeah. I mean, we that's kind of funny that you say you're asking that question because for each project, I mean, we grow at a much smaller rate than a lot of companies.
Yeah.
Like there's other local independents around here that have a background in the gas and oil field where they're heavily involved in real estate. We literally had nothing, so we have to look at each project on a cash flow return basis. So each one that we do, we're in the green. Yeah. Well, if we sell it, but we project everything like, hey, this is what we're going to bring in. This is our loan cost. Here's our lease cost, operating expenses, and everything. And we try to just base and scale off of that.
Are you able to pre-sell the space before the billboard is up?
Yeah. That's one of the benefits to the process. Like with there's some that you're like, man, I'm really sure that we're going to get this location. You can kind of start marketing it. But sometimes you just can't. And I find out that, what, man, it's like the sales will come, if it's a good location. But like I tend to like not do that as much anymore because people find out, where you're putting it up and then they show up to meetings. And that's not always the greatest.
Yeah, you don't want large
So you almost have to
attendance
have
numbers.
all that stuff done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have the, have the leases signed, have the
Zoning
the
clear.
permits all done, and
Right.
then you can start selling.
Right.
And I guess how long does it take for the billboard to be manufactured and shipped up here? I mean, are you talking like a long lead time?
Yeah, it could be anywhere from like 4 to 6 weeks once you place your order, for them to fabricate everything.
Yeah. So that gives you some time to.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we actually had Lamar show up at a hearing of ours in West Mifflin back in March of last year. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, I bet.
We actually got the planning commission approval, the month prior. So they basically were recommending council to approve everything. And so we're going in,
thinking it was done.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just kind of like hey, here's what we got, and here you go. And so we had our attorney and our site plan engineer and mom and dad and myself. And the meeting didn't start for it was 20 minutes late. And we're like, what the heck is going on? So they finally all walk in, and it just seemed like
They were having an exec session.
Oh,
beforehand,
yeah, they for sure
talking
were.
about you.
Yeah. And so I look back, and there's two familiar faces. And they're from Lamar. So I'm like, this isn't good. So they raised an argument to essentially block us due to a spacing issue that I don't know if we can win or not, but
Is
Yeah,
it
so
still
spacing
pending?
issue between billboards, right?
right.
Yeah, you're only allowed to have so many billboards with them.
Yeah.
Is it still pending?
Yeah, it's in court. But I think we're might go around a different way.
Well, they might just add a line to it after they watch this, because Lamar's listening. So,
Fuck them.
yeah,
fuck 'em. Yeah. They're right up there with Tesla in my eye. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
What's the what's the distance? You can't be.
Yeah, so like I said, with zoning, every township's different, but for there, it's for just static billboards, it's 750 feet, and then digital's 1,000. But the way that they had their ordinance written was that electronic billboards cannot be spaced within 1,000 feet of another digital billboard to which it's oriented. So there's a sign, it's a static sign, about 650 feet away. It's facing south. We're facing north. We thought we were all good. Apparently we weren't.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's up to the judge to decide. Because
Yeah,
Well, the judge
Based on-
ended up, siding with
them.
our friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
what a unique situation, because there's no way to really hide your intentions, right, in your business, because you can't just be an unveiling of a billboard. You have to go through these channels, and all these channels are public knowledge.
Well, and to that defense, it's public knowledge so that people can say, well, wait a second, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So, I get that part of it, but dealing with local municipalities and council people, supervisors, whatever each municipality calls them, has to be fucking awful. Because every one of them has people on it that think they're more important than they are.
Jerry, sounds like you have experience.
I do.
Yeah.
That's for a different episode. I'm going to need more alcohol for that episode. And then we'll let it fly.
March wrap up.
Yeah, March wrap up might let it fly.
Let us all get things closed up and buttoned up, and then we can just start firing from the hip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, there's people in every community that think they're more important than they are.
Yeah.
And their opinions need to be heard. And sometimes they don't.
Yeah, they want to keep it the old way.
Well, you know what? It's just
Or they want to change everything, and the old way might be okay.
Well, if the old way benefits them, it's okay.
Right.
We're not naming names. We're not talking.
well, it's
about
this episode.
we're a sign company.
Yeah.
The only difference about us and on-premise business signs is that we're larger, but it's still the same concept. Without us, how could other people know? Especially in the old days, man. How could people know where certain businesses are? You see all this directional signs on, the interstate and everything.
Yeah.
Hey, exit here. It's nothing but beneficial to businesses. But people act we're like a strip club or something. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we're just like
Like
a
they're not
business sign, just a little
everywhere.
bit larger. Like,
Right,
you know?
not
And
only
they're
that,
everywhere.
Yeah.
You're a small business. It's not like you're
Yeah.
you're a small family business.
Just trying to feed my kids, man.
Yeah, so if they like rope you into litigation and all this shit, it is stopping you from feeding your kids.
Yeah,
But these
it
townships are so used to these big companies
Yeah,
storming in and
exactly.
putting up 100 billboards.
And that's the hard part of it, you know, the mental side of the game. You just got to be seriously mentally tough because it's rough, you know. It's like you have all these wins, like, you know, signing, new clients and stuff, and that is awesome. And the real benefit to that is whenever you hear like good stories that, hey, what you did, it actually worked. It brought me X, Y, and Z,
Mm-hmm.
and that's awesome. But like, you know, and then you get your wins too whenever you put up these new signs. But whenever you're just getting beat down like month after month on some of these things just to expand your business, man, it's just it's tough.
Yeah. There's like ups and downs in every business. We talk about like a lot of times it's orders and like business, like you don't have orders coming in, or like you're looking for a space and you're like, this is prime. I know I could pre-sell this. And then you got a guy sitting behind a desk that's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if our township is going to want this here.
Some guy that's never owned a business.
Yeah,
in his life.
that is like collecting his 9 to 5
Yep.
on taxpayers' dime. You know,
Has no
You're
idea.
evil. You're evil.
Yeah,
Has no idea what it's like to live your life or the life of any of the customers that are trying to put their name on your board.
Absolutely.
And now a brief word from our sponsor.
This episode of Between Two Bridges is sponsored by Paymark Payroll. Are you tired of spending countless hours juggling payroll calculations, tax filings, and compliance regulations? Well, say goodbye to that chore and let Paymark Payroll take the burden off your shoulders. With our secure online portal, you can access your business information from any internet location, even your phone. Employees will love the ability to receive direct deposits, and they can access all their pay stubs, tax forms, and information through their own portal. Focus on growing your business while we take care of the rest. With top-notch customer support, we're always here to assist you with anything, at any time. Don't let payroll stress hold you back. Choose Paymark Payroll and experience the freedom to thrive. Contact us at payyourpeople.com for a personalized consultation and a demonstration of our powerful payroll solutions, and see how Paymark Payroll can better your workflow. That's payyourpeople.com. Join the growing list of satisfied businesses that have embraced the convenience and efficiency of Paymark. Payday made easy. Your business deserves nothing less than the best, and that's exactly what Paymark Payroll delivers. Now back to the show.
So to go a little off of the billboard topic, because I feel like we're going to end up going to a township meeting tonight. Just like
I know. I feel like I'm there.
we'll be in West Mifflin at 8 o'clock. Let's go.
Let's go.
I need more support, boys.
The other thing that I see,
You don't need to say that.
the other thing that
boy.
I know about you is you recently went through a home construction process, and not a remodel. It was a total ground up build.
Oh gosh,
And
I didn't
that's
think
one
this
of-
was going to come up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fun because it kind of relates to this. Is like people see you building billboards,
Yeah.
and they think, well, he's a business. He's got $1 million in the bank, and this is an easy thing to do, and then it goes home.
I'm from
with you.
Verona, man.
Yeah, right.
Well, technically, yeah.
Well, you were born and raised in Oakmont,
Yeah.
bro. You got the silver spoon.
You got the first 6 months that you're golden.
Yeah, you're golden. But since everybody here is a business owner, people see the outside world and they think it's easy, man. You just put up a billboard. You just moved into a brand new house, gorgeous house. Tell us a little bit about that process,
Oh man,
because it's not easy.
I didn't think this question was going to come up, but here we are.
we don't have notes.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm just reliving the fears of everything. Yeah, man. So we, Casey and I, this was,
Shout out to his wife,
yeah, the
Casey.
wife. She's awesome. Yeah, man. Wow. When did we start this process? I mean, I don't know. We bought our property back in 2017.
Okay.
With the intent to build. And, we finally were like, well, we're kind of getting to a point that we do want to move out. And I guess that was approaching, 2019. So we were in talks with, a log company to do pretty much like the shell of the house and get all these different designs, the way that we want them. And in the meantime, we're, still trying to find, a contractor that we can, rely on and get, reviews and everything like that to say, hey, you know what, we're gonna pick you. We went through a number of different people, and I was like, man, I don't understand why this is like so hard, man. Like, I guess
I want to pay you money.
I guess it's like the difference in, the style home maybe. But, we finally got referred, a contractor, somebody here in Oakmont, and they gave, this name to my mom, and so we called this guy, and man, he seemed pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, just met with us when we did, wanted to meet with them, answered the phone, anytime, called us, asking us questions, sending us emails, doing everything that a contractor should. So we then, met again to kind of go over like all the final stuff and, the final, all the details, like price wise, what's all involved, the contract and everything. It's like, all right, this looks good. Kind of sent that all over to like, the bank that we were using and to the, the log company. And they were like, all right, yeah, this looks good. Let's like have an onboarding call before you sign all the papers. And there was like, Zoom call after Zoom call and, conference call after conference call. So make sure that everything, is in line, because there are so many steps that are involved to building a house, especially when there's essentially two different contractors involved. You basically have the architecture, but they're handling all of that, but there's so many different points that has to be relayed over to your other contractor.
Your builder.
Yeah. That, they need to know what the heck's going on. And so anyway, we finally got, everything nailed down, and it was the end of 2020 where we locked in a rate and pulled the trigger. Actually got a decent rate with a jumbo loan, 375. Wasn't bad.
That's good.
He's asking you, Jerry.
That's good, buddy. Yeah. I know some people, including myself, that kill for one of those rates right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
should have got two.
Right.
Built me one.
Yeah. So we got that rate, and then basically broke ground in March of 21, and that's when some of the problems started.
I was going to say, did it go smooth from there?
Yeah, I mean, like the beginning was.
Did that contractor work out?
No. I fired him.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we fired him back in December of this. When? No.
2 years ago.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I just can't believe how long this has taken. I mean, it's like this whole process, has taken time away from, our family and growing up. But you know what? It did allow us to create memories where we were at that time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I kind of was familiar with a little bit of what you had going on, and that's what I mean. Like you kind of see like, okay, you got this kid now, like you're a little younger than me, but people will say this kid here, he's putting up these signs, and he lives in this nice house, and it's like you wouldn't do it. I guarantee you, if he gave you a book and said this is how I did it, you wouldn't do it.
I think that can be said for
a lot of people that sit at this table.
Yeah.
Almost everybody that'll be at this table.
Yeah.
So
if we gave a step-by-step direction to the next person that says to us, and we all hear it, oh man, must be nice. If I gave them a handbook, step by step, here's how to accomplish what I did.
Yeah.
99% of them wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "What? How many hours did you have to work today? Fuck that, I'm out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Can't do it."
Yeah, the one I think about all the time is like the development of Lawrenceville. There was a gentleman down there that was like spearheading a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said people wouldn't even show up in the afternoon and go through what I went through to get the money that I have now, because It's just not.
But nobody pays attention to all that.
Yeah, they don't hear
just
that
see
stories.
the success now. And
Man,
he just got in at the right time. Really?
Yeah. The dynamic that I was told from this gentleman was he used the principle of flower pots out front. So the first year he was in Lawrenceville doing his thing, he put out 2 nice flower pots, and they lasted 4 hours. Somebody stole them, broke them, smashed them down the street. And he said the next year, they lasted 2 days. He said the third year, they lasted a week. And he said now he can put them out, and they last all summer long.
Wow.
And he was like, that's always been his barometer. But like him and his brother had to deal with riffraff and like literally like old school baseball bat shit. Like, get off the block, like get away from my house, leave me alone stuff.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh man, he nailed it.
But that's also only part of the problem, because there's municipalities, there's towns that are given an opportunity or could look at it and could be the next Lawrenceville, and they just won't take the steps to do it because of the people that are on council that think they know better.
They're better for the town being there than gone. Well, and like one of the other, and we'll get off the whole Lawrenceville rant, but one of the other things that was crazy is this gentleman went to closing to buy a property, commercial property. And like the guy was like, are you sure you want this? And he was like, yeah, I do. He goes, I'll tell you what, you give me another $1,500, I'll give you 5 other properties in Lawrenceville. And he was like, all right, whatever. I'll take them.
For $1,500
For $1,500. So
that paid off.
yeah, I think so.
That probably worked.
It worked out for him.
Yeah.
And everybody, like you said, chases that idea of like, oh, what could be the next great thing?
How many times do you hear, where's the next Lawrenceville? Where's the next Lawrenceville? And everybody talks about it. It's going to be Millville. It's going to be Etna.
I rent a building in Sharpsburg. They won't sell because
it's
it's
going to be Sharpsburg. It's going to be the next. Yeah.
I gave him an inflated number like 3 years ago to try to buy that building in Sharpsburg, and he's like, well, Comp, I don't know, man. I mean, you see what's going on in Lawrenceville, right? And I'm like, you're 4 blocks.
Here.
Yeah, you're 4 blocks off the main drag, and like, it's not happening.
He's holding on, though. It might happen.
Right. It might happen someday.
Old Italian people don't sell their property. Good for them.
Well, I'll tell you what. I met with somebody one time in a like a redevelopment organization in Bloomfield. It was Bloomfield and Garfield, and he told me that Bloomfield, which you would think could be the next Lawrenceville, that it's old Italians, they won't leave.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't want it.
Well, that's always been my argument is like, yeah, Verona could be something, but where are they putting Children's Hospital in Verona? Like that was the start of all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You disagree?
Yeah. No, I think people are looking to nice places to spend money.
Right.
You just have to develop nice areas. You have to be willing to make changes. You have to be willing to. Not everybody. There are people that look at outside investors like they're evil. Like, oh, they're going to come in here and they're going to change this town. They're going to. Sometimes it's for
That's
the better.
what they think I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's what they think I'm doing.
Yeah.
Spreading his voodoo in here.
Yeah.
COVID hit you. What happened to your business then? We've touched on that a little bit with everybody. It's certainly a unique time.
Yeah, we got smacked a little bit.
Okay.
I mean,
You have to change your model, change your locations. You just ride it out.
No, we were kind of like, just taking it day by day.
Yeah.
Talked with the bank, said that, hey, we are not an essential business that we can't operate. Can you guys help us out? So they go, well, yeah, let's see what we can do. And luckily it was one of my wife's friends that was our loan officer. She helped out, and we were able to do at least 3 months interest only. So that really helped. And, we lost probably about, I think we went down to like 50% of our business.
Yeah, I didn't even think about these billboards are obviously financed. For $5,000, you're not building a structure.
Yeah.
So you got to finance them. So that's,
hundreds of thousands of dollars and, lots of money going out. But, like I said, we were able to do the, interest only for 3 months. Kind of rode out those 3 months and tried to find new people that were open. And we actually had some COVID testing centers that were advertising with us, fill some of those empty spots. We had to be, creative in, offering pretty much double spots or, different ways for people to really kind of feel that they can get something, because not many people were on the road at the time. you know.
Yeah.
But
ghost town.
It'll bounce back like, you know, within about 3 months.
Okay.
Like Molyneux Flooring, some other places, they're like, we're not closing. We're reopening. He goes, if we don't, you know, Pat, he goes, if I don't reopen, you know, we're
Closed anyway.
We're going to lose our business. Yeah. So we have to. So he goes, yeah, go ahead and start running it. We're open, you know, and that's pretty much what happened with, at least in our industry, that, you know, it kind of bounced back about, you know, 3 months slowly, but not that we were like full, but we got some of the business back, you know.
What's your ratio between digital and static?
We're much more heavily digital.
Yeah.
I mean, we got digital, 7 digitals, and then about 18 static faces. No, not structures themselves, but like, so for instance, like we have a 10636 down at Crane Avenue and 51 in between the Fort Pitt Tunnel and Liberty Tunnel, downtown there. That has 4 faces. So like the first, the top face is a static, and then the bottom is a tri-vision. So the tri-vision actually rotates with like three different clients. Mm. So, you know, that's kind of how we can multiply those without having the, you know, several numbers of, you know, static units.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, how long have the digital billboards been around? Not very long.
Yeah, like right around like 10, 12 years.
I'm sure that creates zoning issues too.
Yeah, a lot of places, you know, try to zone them out. But it's funny, like there's some like we're waiting just to like sue them because no, honestly,
Okay.
Yeah, because like they'll allow like you know, business identification signs of, you know, you can't allow a business to like what they call an on premise, so like a
bowling alley
sign
has a lit sign.
Yeah,
with
if they're allowed to have
rotating.
a digital, then you can't close that out to, it's discretionary.
Yeah.
So
correct.
you can't do one or the other. It's either going to be all across the board or not. So we're just like waiting, save up some money, and here we go.
Yeah. What was the business down on the boulevard here in the lower boulevard?
Service Master.
Yeah, they had that lit sign.
Well, see, that's the problem.
That was
It was
outrageous.
obnoxious.
That was
Yeah.
outrageous.
And the one at General Tire across the river is obnoxious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
But
one's
that's
nuts.
the problem with these. The digital signs, like there's nothing wrong with a digital billboard. They're not more bright than a static billboard. The problem is everybody thinks that they're like the one that was in front of Service Master that blinds everybody as they go by.
Yeah.
But they're cheap shit signs.
These are the people, like the businesses are ones that are buying, the cheap stuff directly from China. They're knockoff stuff.
Yeah.
They might last, 4 days, but you're not getting them like for us, like there are, companies around the USA that, specialize in digital out of home. It actually comes with a service team. There's a team that watches all of your digital signs. They literally have a, what do they call it? Like their engineer room where they can see all of their digitals that they have sold. You get notifications when they're down. Like those are the real signs that billboard companies are utilizing. They're not going directly to China with no warranty, anything like that. Those are the ones that, people buy that give, guys like us a bad name.
Right.
Yeah.
Note to self, cancel Alibaba billboard sign order.
Right?
You can buy some crazy shit on Alibaba.
Yeah. Temu now, right? That's like
Temu.
the new Amazon, right? Like,
Dude, I won something the other day from Temu. They sent me an email that said, "You of all people in Pennsylvania," and I was like, "Sweet." I didn't dare click on it. It probably would have been like syphilis.
Yeah.
Temu, yeah, they like. Have you ever shopped on Temu? Have you ever?
No.
Dude, like you put one thing in your cart and you win a prize, and then you spin a wheel and you get 90% off of what is already $9, and then it's like you win another prize, and I'm like, I kind of have to buy this shit. It's like $4.99 for like 38 things, and then I'm like, and then your credit's gonna go to shit. And you're gonna lose.
There goes all
They just
that.
stole your identity.
Yeah.
Yes, Temu, definitely. And then they had a
Shout out
Super
to
Bowl
Temu.
commercial. Like,
Did they?
I mean,
Was it the Jesus feet one?
no, they were different. They were Satan washing headbands or something. I don't know, but they just, I don't know. I don't understand that dynamic of companies. Like everybody knows it's a scam, but like
People do it.
we're not everybody.
I just got scammed. I bought a pair of shoes on Instagram.
Okay.
And I was getting advertisements on 2 different shoe companies. I'd never heard of either one of them. One was saying that they're Schneike, Schneike.com. One was advertising that Aaron Rodgers was wearing their shoes and stuff and as a spokesman. And I was like, I like those ones.
Skechers.
But they were really, no, it was Amberjack or something.
No.
But they're pretty expensive. And then I saw another one. I kept scrolling, and this shit's everywhere on Instagram now.
Yeah.
Because I saw one thing. Mm-hmm. And I saw another one. I'm like, I like those. And they were like $70. And I'm like, all right. I mean, it's probably all right, right?
Yeah.
So I bought them.
Sounds legit.
And like 2 weeks later, I'm like, where are my shoes? And I looked and I got tracking information. They're coming from China. I'm like, that's probably not a good sign. Like, I don't know if I know my shoes are getting made in China. Like my Nikes are made in China. I get it. But I don't want to buy them directly from China. Like I want to at least pretend like they're from Dick's. Like they were at least pretend.
They got a new store coming up.
Yeah. And like it took like 6 weeks for these shoes to come. They came yesterday. They're size 12 wides. And they wouldn't fit my feet when I was 10. They're so small.
Our Destiny's got small feet. Maybe they'll fit his feet.
They're so
They sell it to him.
ridiculously small.
Wow.
So
What's the name of these shoes?
I don't even know how to. They're called Gatsby.
Gatsby. You need billboard space in Pittsburgh, bro.
But I don't even know how to return them. Like, what am I supposed to ship them back to China?
Yeah.
I just, I don't know what to do.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Even if you return them, they're just going to go to someone else's house. Like, so they're going to be like, oh, shit, these don't fit.
The return address yeah, I'm going to do a chargeback.
Yeah.
The return address on the packaging was Sesame Street in Illinois.
Nah.
I swear to God.
Get out of town.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Don't buy Gatsby's.
I got flim-flammed.
The great Gatsby.
Can you put anything on a billboard? Is there, if I draw something up, do I just pay a number and I could put up a bunch of...
I mean, no, not
Joe's face?
anything. I mean, we could put Joe's face. Yeah, that's appropriate.
As long as it's approved for kids?
Waist up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that you can, and some people, of course it's questionable, Is that something that we're going to put up there? No, we wouldn't do anything.
So it's just up to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no zoning
not
about...
the township or anything?
Well, the FCC regulates that depending on what it is, but...
I can't put F president.
I mean,
FJB.
Well, I don't know.
You probably could put FJB.
Yeah. You could do stuff like that.
Okay.
I think
you couldn't
no naked ladies.
No naked ladies, but I could.
I mean, they could be like half, but that's something like
I could tell someone what to do with themselves.
I don't think so.
You could probably not put on there like turn left. And like run into a fucking wall. Like, I'm sure that's regulated. You can't give direction.
Wait, is it regulated or no?
Tobacco products?
Joe Campbell?
Yeah, you can't do tobacco anymore.
That's
No?
right.
Yeah, that's been, it's been a long time.
Yeah, like
That's
no magazine.
I think that was even, gone whenever I got
out
it.
there, right?
Yeah, I think so. I remember seeing like Joe Camel on billboards when I
Yeah.
was growing up. It's so funny. We can't see any of that anymore.
I've read, like I was looking through an old magazine, like maybe from like a vintage store or something, and the ad said 9 out of 10 doctors recommend unfiltered Camel cigarettes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and now California is banning these nicotine things because they're flavored.
yeah, I don't
Is that right?
I don't think that California has anything. They shouldn't be allowed to contribute. Like they actually should.
Anything.
We're building they want to build the wall in the wrong spot. I think we need to send west and build walls because
just around California.
Yeah, I mean,
They could be. Yeah.
they're talking crazy shit like $50 an hour minimum wage, right? Then they're talking about ex-felons coming out of jail. If they sign a contract promising they won't shoot anybody, they get $300 a month.
Oh.
Is that all?
That's it. Yep, $300, or maybe it's a week. It sounds California's
Just
probably a week.
sign paper.
And like they want to put one communal toilet with no walls in a park.
Well, they need to do that because people are shitting on the sidewalk.
No, stuff the people that are shitting in the sidewalk in jail. Put them where they belong. That's called like I have a criminal record because I took a piss in a parking lot in Heinz Field.
Oh.
So
Really?
it's there. Public urination. So
We'll get that.
You're lucky.
I must have just pulled down and shit, and I'd have been good.
You're lucky you're not on a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They could have got you on a list for that.
7-8 years
I don't even
ago,
care
that
about the
started.
charge. I care the fact that the guy arrested me wearing a Barry Foster jersey.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what, bro? If you're coming at me with a Barry Foster jersey on, you're a real fan. And you should let me go. Like how can't you
I
not
feel like
trust?
there's 50,000 people peeing on the ground.
Right.
every
And there's
game.
one guy at every game in a Barry Foster jersey. And he's an undercover Pittsburgh cop.
Barry
Foster.
Looking for people peeing in the parking lot.
Yeah. And he was like, you better put that away. I'm like, I'm midstream, bro. Like, he's like, I'm giving you a citation. I was like, well, then I am finishing. Like, I am paying
Yeah,
for
you
this
gotta
piss
earn
at
it.
this point.
Gotta at least earn that
Yeah,
ticket.
like, you're getting all of it right now.
Mitch, you got a record?
No.
Okay. How'd you meet your wife? We'll segue to that.
Oh, this is weird.
No.
Did you own a billboard
Wait,
at the
Casey
time,
knows me.
or-
Can we stop for a second?
Okay.
Let's not segue to his wife about me pissing on the north
Well,
side.
I was trying to get somewhere.
Well, okay. I guess I
Was she
We'll
an
start
Akron?
fresh. Start fresh.
yeah. So let's see here. Thinking about, growing up as a kid, I think I, always had the intent and drive to want to, start my own company to
Yeah.
essentially maybe, give that to my kids. Not necessarily give it to them. They're going to have to earn it,
Yeah.
especially if, they're interested. But
They're
sometimes
going to have to jackhammer some shit.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to do that, but
Yeah.
but sometimes they might not. They might go in a different direction, and that's okay. But it's like I at least wanted to create the opportunity so that it's there if they want to take that step and be a second generation.
Yeah.
But my family, mom and dad growing up as a kid, they were involved in telemarketing and business. I remember going to these conference meetings with my sister.
They were calling me.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they weren't telemarketers. They were. It was long distance. There was a company called Excel Communications at the time.
Okay.
Back in the 90s, and they were just trying to provide a cheaper, cost for long distance, because long distance at the time was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were involved in that kind of business, and going to these conferences, me and my sister, just see my parents, and kind of thought this is kind of pretty cool. So we'd make our own business cards and stuff, But I think my family kind of has that entrepreneurial spirit. My grandfather, we call him Pappy Santa Claus. He actually played Santa Claus down at Horns for 50 years.
Yeah.
He also was co-owner of Valley Heights Golf Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
way back. And then
Play there, Joe?
No, I never. Valley Heights was across the street from Oakmont East, up on the hill where Longwood is.
Oh.
And rumor has it that they had the best greens in the country.
yeah,
And Oakmont,
he was the
bought their
greenskeeper.
Yeah, they bought the turf for their greens and brought it over to Oakmont when they closed.
No way.
So that's how great the grass was at Valley Heights.
Mhm.
Kudos to Pappy
Yeah.
Santa.
Pappy Santa Claus.
Now it's
Santa
a
Claus is
parking
real,
lot.
bro.
I thought he was.
He is, bro. My kids watch this show, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's their
Wow.
punishment.
And then on my dad's side, my grandfather was a machinist at Golf Research. You might have seen my belt buckles.
I did see that.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other night. I was going through some things and saw that, but he actually had a company that made parts for the sonographs, and they did this down in his basement. But he also made crossbows and all the different sites and stuff. So
Nice.
family had some type of business, and knowing that, I think kind of made me want to start Steel City Billboards.
You had no choice. So your grandfather golf, that was in Lawrenceville. Golf.
Golf Research, that was up U Park.
Yeah.
U Park is
So he worked in the research part of it. Yeah, because golf had
Yeah.
a huge
They had-
refinery in Lawrenceville.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could have been there too. But I know he was up there at one point, before they switched. But that was I don't know, I think he retired like back early 60, 58, something like that.
Tell us how you met. Now you can segue to the wife.
Well,
Okay.
I got a funny story though.
Yeah, let's
I
hear
got a
it.
billboard story. So my mom gets this call one day. I think this was like probably back in 2017, and he goes, "Hey, my name's Doctor So and So, and I want to put up an ad for my fiance." We're like, "Okay, yeah. What kind of ad do you want?" He goes, "Well, I'm pretty much like, want to propose to her on that and kind of confess my love and everything." And so we were like, well, all right, well, how long do you want to run for? He goes, I want to probably do at least like a good week, make sure she sees it, everything. And it was down on our Mount Lebanon board at the time. And I think we recently just converted to a digital down there. So like the image is like nice and clear and everything.
Crisp.
And so we put this ad together, and it's kind of like, had like her name on it, her photo and him and everything. And I don't remember what the heck it said, but we put this thing up there, and I think like literally the next day, Mom gets a call. She goes, "Hey, my name's so and so, and that's me on your billboard."
Mm.
I go, Mark, call Mark. I'm no longer with Mark.
Oh no.
He's like stalking me. And we are she goes, "We are not engaged. I just can't get it through to him." She goes, I got a call from my church that said that they the congregation saw it, and they immediately called me, and I drove down and I saw it, and it was like, oh my gosh. She goes, "You got to take that down immediately." Oh boy. Then after the end of that, we're like, man, did we like still charge this guy, or like,
hell yeah,
what do we do here? So
That'd be double.
yeah, it was kind of funny. So
What happened? You tear it down?
oh yeah. I mean, we took it down. Kind of.
It was digital,
Kind
though,
of
so
had
it's
to.
just-
We just said, hey man,
Alright.
it wasn't like a print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's
Could you imagine if you did if it was a static, you had to send somebody up there?
I would have been like, well, you know what? My dad and I, we still do that. Like,
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we go up on the boards, and change out the ads and stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
sometimes like some of the ones that like we have a wallscape down on Frankstown Avenue, like right in East Liberty, back into Bakery Square. And that one's kind of like unique because it's like just high enough for us to like not be able to like reach it like with a step ladder. Mm-hmm. And there's kind of like a guardrail in front of it. So like we have to kind of like outsource that to like our sign company to install that. But for the most part, we do a lot of the, installs like on the Turnpike or Shaler. Or,
How high are the billboards you're doing that to?
Well, the one on the PA Turnpike is like 65 feet.
Oh boy.
And you climb up there to do it?
Yeah.
You getting up there, Jerry?
Fuck no.
Come out with me one
Jerry,
day.
you getting there?
Not a chance.
Going up?
I bet Joey would
tell you
get
what,
a couple of these.
Well, if there's a paycheck at the end of that bridge,
I got a
What
harness.
about so the most famous one in Pittsburgh, the Iron City billboard, right?
Yeah, that's
What's up with that one?
iconic.
How do we get that one?
Yeah, that's
It's always in the news. They're always trying to tear it down. right?
Yeah, the city's trying to go after Lamar, for
Yeah.
what I don't even know the story, just because
Yeah.
it doesn't really pertain to me. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not really
Fuck 'em.
interested
So
too
that-
much at this
the
point.
Iron City
Fuck
billboard
'em.
is a
No.
Lamar billboard. It's not owned by Iron City at this point.
No, I think, man, I don't even know how they ended up getting that. It could be under like Martin Media or something.
Yeah, it's just
The old stuff before it was Lamar, like you have like Pittsburgh Outdoor, Martin Media, Patrick Outdoor, like all these like go back.
I'm a big Iron City guy, so as long as it says Iron City, I'm cool. I wasn't sure, like the Bayer kind of sucked. I mean, I get Bayer's a Pittsburgh company, but like it doesn't
Yeah.
like the Steel City
Doesn't
one's
ring the
cool.
bell.
No.
But I mean, it probably should at this point just say Pittsburgh, right?
Maybe.
Like that way it like appeases everyone,
yeah.
Do people still complain about it?
I don't know. It looks pretty shitty when they take that sign off the front of it.
Yeah, it's like all
looks
white, right?
It might be like
Yeah.
a safety hazard at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, it's holding up the wall with that
It's a
vinyl.
bunch of IKEA bed frames like bolted together.
Yeah, right.
You gonna stay in the county? You looking to take us nationwide?
No,
What are we doing?
No, definitely not nationwide.
No?
Allegheny County is a good place to be in.
Okay.
That's kind
You
of
said you just moved into Washington.
yeah.
You gonna keep going that way, or are you just staying?
If I find something, maybe if it looks good. There's a lot of places that we could go after, but like sometimes it's just, we're really, really happy and content with where we're kind of at. And if something looks really nice, then we'll give it a go, we'll consider it. But
yeah, you got to watch out for the small company and the big company in your industry.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's gunning. Like,
dude, they are. It's like
anyone tried to buy you?
Yeah, we had a couple of different companies that reached out.
Yeah.
And, do we want to go there?
I need to add some zeros, huh?
What am I going to do? No, it would have been nice. I mean,
Okay.
we know like what our value is, like a pretty true value, what's common in the industry. But I mean,
you're pretty young yet.
yeah, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I don't want to, just,
Could
hang
drive
out.
an ambulance again.
I could do that. I mean, I honestly, I do. I miss that a lot.
Put a
Like,
billboard on an ambulance.
yeah. Well, that reminds me.
They have it.
Yeah, they have mobile billboards. Yeah, but
But
that reminds me. I do have a big something big that we're just looking into, and it might be coming
podcast
this
exclusive.
summer.
Are you about to unveil this?
Tell us.
No, not right now. It's way too early.
Okay.
Will you hashtag us in it when you do it?
Oh, absolutely. You'll see a nice
Nice.
picture.
Nice.
It's going to be cool because
Is
it'll
it
be.
our faces on it?
I could definitely put your face.
Can we be on a billboard?
Yeah.
Just
May
for a
not be a
second.
bad idea.
B2B, baby.
Just for a second.
How much for a day for us?
Oh, dude, we could put on like Verona, like $50 a day.
Just for a
Done.
second, just to
Done.
see how it feels.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like we do have
My people.
companies and
Call
businesses
your people.
that do like 2 weeks out of a month. You know, we're flexible.
With
you
that
know.
static, you can be. It's not
But-
like you got to go out and, or with the digital.
digitals,
the
we can
have
be
to-
we can be flexible, and that's kind of the key. Like, we're a small business, we understand small business, and that's like our main focus
Calling
and
card.
catering point.
That's
Get the
good.
suit ready, Joe. Press it. Taking some pics.
I don't know, man. I like used to always want to wear a suit. And
I
now
know.
I feel like if I wear a suit, it just doesn't fit me.
Mm.
Well, not because of my size. Because I'm just not
What
that
are you
serious,
saying?
man. I'm just not that serious.
Okay.
Put a suit on it's for a funeral. And I
Yeah,
must-
yeah,
Do you
it's
really
like-
Do you do the laundry at home? Or does
No,
that-
I take a hard stand on no laundry at home. Plumber always has a leaky sink. Jerry's taxes are the last one to be filed.
Your clothes aren't clean.
Well, my clothes are clean. I do my personal stuff at the cleaners. Like a lot of my
Yeah.
like day-to-day wear.
Do you own a washing machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 kids, you have to.
That's true.
So I always think about calling our competitors though and be like, hey, can I get like a 1-month deal to like sign up for your wash and fold and just bombard them with like
Shitty
kids socks,
diapers.
kids underwear. They don't weigh as much. It's like adult shit, you know?
You're up to what, $5 a shirt now? I see my price rose the other
Yeah.
day.
Oh.
I was like, oh man, I only had a pair of pants.
Well, ever since I got that quote for the billboard, I figured I would raise prices so that way I could save up some money.
Yeah, good one.
Get on there.
Burn.
Barter. a
Nah,
little
that
bit.
was I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't believe you
think
got
that-
charged full price.
Look
There's
at
Oh,
a
that.
greater
dude.
discount
What's
button
going
right in our
on?
computer.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm just like, okay, yeah.
Could
that's
have green
cool.
appled that.
It's not gonna make me not come back. I was like, yeah, that might be normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not asking.
We're normal for like what you call like an actual dry cleaner. We're not
Yeah.
like Giant Eagle normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I had like 5 shirts and like at least like 2
Yeah, you-
suit jackets and 2 suits.
Dude, style.
That was pretty good.
Like you would look good in a suit. Me, not so much.
I don't know. That beard looking pretty good.
Oh man. Oh, I'm ready to shave the fucking beard off, bro.
Let's
Wow.
do it on air.
Yeah, live. It's
Shout
kinda-
out if we can get someone from a reputable barber with a good following. I'll shear the beard right here in the conference.
We're
room.
I know.
We can
Dude.
get Ross
We're
over
getting
here.
Ross Cusnati,
Come
man.
on.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
we're all over the place. That's kind of like our thing now.
I mean, this is a lucrative business, man. That's pretty cool. Drive past it every day. You don't think about it.
Yeah.
Unless it's something you want.
Well, yeah. The ads have to be relative, and it's all about timing and
Yeah.
everything. There's a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of unique in the regard of like we bring a lot of people in here and they can talk about their business plan, their strategy, their XOs, because in a lot of businesses, the owner sets themselves apart. The person willing to grind or knows how to manage, in your business, if you come in here and you lay out your game plan, your soup to nuts, and somebody from one of these other companies is listening to it, they'll just start you down. You know, they don't need to outgrind you. They just need to out commission you. So it's a very unique business.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and it's hard to grow too. Like when you're doing everything, I mean, you have the family life and you're trying to, you know, as an entrepreneur, trying to, you know, dedicate enough time for them, you know, that's fair. And as much as, you know, it's like 5 o'clock, but it's like, you got to get a couple things done. But, you know, your kids are coming in. It's like, man, I want to come over and play, but I got to just have to get this done. You know, so the sacrifices that, you know, that you have to make just to, you know, keep going.
Yeah.
Something you just have to take.
How long is a billboard good for? Like when you put it up, and I know you don't want to give the details of a lease, but like, do you usually lock that lease up for how long are you locking that up, and how long do you expect a billboard to be in a location? Is it a forever? Is it a 99-year lease?
Yeah. There's some that like we've seen, some that like we wanted to buy, like we're like a 99-year lease. Like some of ours, you know, they could be 25, you know, 30 years. It just all depends. Like,
so you don't have to worry about putting one up and then Lamar shows up and tries to tell them like, hey, tell them you don't want to do it, make them tear it down.
Well, you know, there's always that chance that they could do that, you know, but we have a pretty good relationship with, you know, all the property owners that we do it. It was right before COVID 2019. We actually had like a little, you know, kind of like a end of the year thank you party. So we invited a lot of our clients and
nice,
you know, the landlords and everything. And we, the Sugar and Spice folks were there, the whole family. And towards the end of the night, they were like, "Can we tell you something?" We're like, "Yeah, what's going on?" They're like, "Man, when we were, you know, looking outside the ice cream shop, you and your dad up on that hillside, you know, driving the jackhammer into the side of the hill, we were like, man, this is going to be the first and last billboard that you guys put up. We didn't think you were going to make it." We just, oh man, we all lost it. And, you know,
humble like beginnings.
Yeah.
You were like us too.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. You never know. It's like, you know, we didn't know where it was going to kind of, you know, take us, but all the relationships that we have everybody's super awesome. Yeah.
So are you happy with where you are, or are you actively looking for more places?
Yeah, we're certainly happy where we're at, but you know, we're, you know, definitely actively looking. I think we have like, you know, 5 or 6, maybe 7, like
in process.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, that one that we just put up in North Strabane, I mean, that took us about 2 years. And it's the amount of work that goes into it, you know.
You're like, now I know why they were charging $1,500 a month.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly.
How long does it take for you to get your money back, your return on the investment on a billboard?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean,
ballpark.
Yeah,
6 months, a year, a couple years.
Well, I guess the one that we put up, it's paid off. I mean, like 5 years.
The Sugar and Spice one?
No, that one was like, that was actually probably within like the first like 2 years. Yeah. You know, 3 years.
4x4 womanized posts.
Yeah.
4x4 womanized posts aren't that expensive.
Yeah.
Dean Honda paid that off that first day.
No,
that's why he was shaking.
Yeah, we have a double-sided digital down on 88 that we recently paid off.
Cool.
Yeah, a few months ago. So
good feeling.
That was about 5 years. Yeah,
that's a good feeling. Speaking on my behalf, like when you pay like a big loan off, it's like you always think I'm going to be, this money's coming right into my pocket. I'm not going to spend this money. You'll find something else to spend that money on. It's just the way it works.
But we actually lowered those rates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's paid off. So, you know, we'd rather have something that's like full solid, all the time. So we kind of reached out to a bunch of people and, you know, kind of doing X, Y, and Z just to get it full and taking those rates down pretty much like by half. So
like engagement posts and stuff like that, like marry me. Are you done with that? You out of that?
No. Like, so we work with a few different like companies that will, you know, sell like the birthdays and anniversaries and stuff like that. But yeah, with that, yeah, we're double checking now, you know. But
that's. I mean, I guess I keep shaking my head during this because like it's like I kind of knew a lot of the guests' businesses, and I knew you were in this business, but I could sit here all night and like ask like random questions about the billboard industry.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's like like you said, you drive by them every day, and you're like,
well, you know what? One funny, well, not funny, but one statistic that I was, you know, interested in because I thought it might come up, but just kind of for me personally wanted to see like where, you know, the industry was at, you know, in 2012 to where it's at the end of, you know, 2023. And I think it was like at 2012 was like 6.5 billion in ad dollars spent.
On billboards specifically?
Out of home. So that could be bus shelters and, you know, anywhere that's outside of your house. And to the end of 2023 was like 8.6. I mean, that's like a, 30% increase roughly.
Significant.
Yeah, it's like,
wow,
it's grown. But you know what? I mean, comparison to other mediums, social and everything else, like you collectively add all those together. I mean, they're like hundreds of billion. I mean, that's like, this is just a little chunk.
It's a little piece, yeah.
Yeah. But it's still a lot of
I'm
lot
guilty.
Of cash.
I'm guilty of it. I don't advertise my business for shit.
Some people don't. You don't have to.
And I read something one day. It was like, you know, you drive an advertised car, you brush your teeth with advertised toothpaste, you drink an advertised drink, you shop in advertised stores, and then you fail to advertise your business, but then you advertise it for sale. And that always has stuck with me. It's like, you got to get your business out there. I'm fortunate to be on a heavy traffic area.
Yeah.
And a different kind of, I'm like an as needed service business. So I always, that's my excuse, I guess, to myself. But like, if you're trying to like push a car lot or deals or something like that, and you got to get in front of a lot of people in a short amount of time, I mean, you reach out to Steel City Billboards and your message is seen by 10,000 people in a day.
Yeah. So we find that, you know, there's a trend with service. Businesses tend to do the best. So like people that are, you know, that you could need on like any given day, you know, heating and cooling company.
Yeah.
You know, personal injury. I mean, it goes on, but typically those that service, you know, that you can buy stuff from, you know, on a daily basis. A lot of shopping malls, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, not like as much as a relationship builder, like an accounting firm. I mean, I guess they would advertise too this time of year, like H&R Block and stuff like that. But yeah, just the opportunities, like you can go in any business and sell your product, like to anybody, which is kind of makes that a unique business also. I keep going back to that word, but it's kind of slick. Who would have thought? Mitch Fowkes, the billboard magnate.
If a business wants to get a hold of you and get on your billboard, how do they reach you?
Well, they can check out our website at steelcitybillboards.com. They could send us emails directly at info@steelcitybillboards.com, or you know, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, pretty accessible. So
it's good.
Yeah.
You got anybody you want to shout out? Anybody in specific? Kids, wife,
Brady, Salo.
There you go.
My wife, Casey.
This is going to be on YouTube, bro. Your kids are going to watch this.
Yeah. Brady was asking, "Where are you going, Dad?" I was like, "I'm going somewhere, buddy."
I was on YouTube, on our YouTube page yesterday, and looking at like analytics to see and stuff, and I noticed some comments, and I just noticed that my son has been commenting on our pages, on our videos. Hi, Dad. Adam, and it's my YouTube page.
Yeah.
And I'm like, awesome. Looks like I'm commenting to her. Hi, Dad.
So I was sitting in the living room and my son was on his iPad and scrolling through YouTube, and we popped up. And I was like, I really need to adjust those parental controls. He's 4. He doesn't.
He's not ready for this.
But honestly, I guess as far as it goes now, though, this will be a legacy forever. Like, this isn't going away. Unless we take it down, which we won't. We're not those kind of people. But like, so they'll see. Your kids will be able to see this someday. I always thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So,
and we're up to, I don't know, 17 16 episodes, something like that.
Yeah.
And well, I'm not done.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a whole new list to get in front of the PVX. Man.
Yeah.
We'll have to get down.
We'll get you in front of those people. So
Let's do that for sure.
I think it's a good idea. I think they'd love it, honestly.
If you're listening and want to get your business
Pay
on
attention.
here, reach out to us. Reach out to Mitch. Get on a billboard.
We're
Turn
getting
into
on a
your
billboard.
Taxes.
Yep.
We're getting on a billboard.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Joe,
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you
Hey
coming
guys,
in.
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
That's awesome.
buddy.
Thanks,
you.
man.
Thank you for listening to Between Two Bridges, a business-to-business podcast. Find and follow us on your preferred podcast streaming platform. Like and subscribe, and leave us a rating and review. You can join us socially on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Yes, we still call it Twitter. You can email the show at info@betweentwobridgespodcast.com. Until next time, make it till you rake it.